Good morning, gentlemen. I'm back in Dallas, at the home of the Braves. Several years ago, I was also in this place when I was talking about the knife. Now, I came back with two knives. Before it was only one knife or two knives, doesn't matter. The most important here, gentlemen, that those of you who are engaged in the Filipino martial arts, let us refine the meaning of Filipino martial arts. In my system, the Piki system, I don't mention oftenly the word martial arts because it has so many meanings. But in the Filipino culture, the Filipino fighting culture, when I talk about Piki, it is a cultural application of what is combat is all about. So to magnify about the understanding on what is a Filipino fighting system, it is centered on the blade culture. It's a blade culture because we start our training, we start with the blade, we start with the principles of sharpness, the principle of speed, timing, power, accuracy, and precision. Because the blade travels at least 1,500 miles per second. So, for you who are trying to learn the Filipino art, you have to understand it from its origin. The source of what you're learning must be understood properly. Who is teaching you? What is his background? What are the things that he can tell you that about the Filipino martial arts is the one that is being taught about. You should understand the whole philosophy, the whole cultural values, the customs and tradition, and then the ideology. And this is the thing that we are trying to emphasize. Because if you have a wrong concept of what you're learning, that is the indication that you're bound to die. Because in the other things that the people are teaching you, is not in accordance to the true indigenous, pure, original system that has been utilized by our Filipino heroes during the first Filipino Revolution in the Philippines against the Spaniards. It has been proven, my friends, that as far as the Filipino fighting system, it has been effective, it has been successful, and it costs lots of lives to perfect one technique. And that is Piki tertia. Piki tertia, my friends, is one of the oldest Filipino fighting system in the Philippines. 1897, that was the full foundation of the Piki tertia system by my grandfathers. And this system is only confined to the family where I belong. They call father, grandfather, to great grandfather. In other words, it has been preserved, and I was the only one who was recipient because I was the only heir to the Piki tertia system. So I can talk with authority. I can talk with authority because my knowledge came directly from my great-grandfather and his father and his great-grandfather and another fathers to the fathers. In other words, this is a bloodline system that is now taught to the Philippine Armed Forces, to the Armed Forces of India, to the Armed Forces of Austria, and to other units of the military that's involved in operations against the terrorists and against the reign of terror in the Philippines. I want to revive your understanding on what is a system is all about. A system is a complete in its sense because from the weaponry to non-weaponry, from the blade to the empty hands to the feet and to everything that is within your opportunity is a system. In other words, the system must be completed in order for you to be alive, not to die. Because if a system talking about style, the style is going to die. The system will never die. It will live forever. Piki tertia is one of the most interesting fighting system extended by the armed forces as other discipline. The Philippine Scout Ranger, the Philippine Security Command, the Philippine Security Group, and also the other units, the Philippine Marines, and also the Special Action Force Commandos in the Philippines. There is a full utilization of the system within the Armed Forces of the Philippines. And we are the only system that is tested every minute, every hour of the day. Because the system is brought into the battlefield, right into the battlefield, where the fighting is done at this very moment. We are fighting several enemies. We have what we call the New People's Army. We have also the terrorists and the different groups of terrorists in the Philippines. And each weapon is one of the ultimate weapon that is being utilized. And these people that we're training with are using this system. There has been too much publicity, how much they kill, how many people they killed. But if you will be with me, I'll give you the people that who are doing the job, and they can give you what you call a close confession, how many have they killed with the edge weapon. So, what are we learning for? We are learning something that is going to be effective. We are learning something that is workable and something that you have to make it safe that you can preserve your life. That is the point. You are learning martial arts for what for? For decoration and for exotic movements and for demonstrations and for sports. We are not in that category. If we go to the sports, we are going to win. Because in training, we are trained for combat, and anything that we encounter as sports, we will win. But we are not trained for sports, because if you go to combat, you'll die, because you are training in sports. So what you do in training is the one that will come out in reality. Pika to tertia is a system, as I said, that is complete in its essence. When you learn Pika tertia under me, under one PTK, you will understand a full structure that is completely combat in its application. Combat means counter on motion before attack time. That is the meaning of combat. Meaning to say, one false move of your eyeballs, I take your eyeballs. One false move of your hand, I take your hand. One false of your feet, I'll take your feet. One false of your head, I'll take your head. That's the most important. Speed, timing, power, accuracy, and precision. That's why in many of my articles in the Facebook, I always emphasize the difference of our system than the other style of the FMA. You have the arrest and screamer, doesn't mean anything. Because the training in this field is different in the real sense of the blade culture. Those who are teaching FMA, they have their own rights to teach. And I'm not then questioning that. But when you carry the name of the Filipino, you have to be sure that what you're talking is correct. You're talking in its right culture. Do not talk about mixing the Filipino martial arts with other Japanese or Koreans or Chinese. That does not belong into the system. That means if you are mixing it, you lack knowledge, because you are just stealing that knowledge and put it into your style, whatever your style is, and that is fooling the people. So I stand correct that whoever teaches the Filipino, he must identify himself. Where did you learn for? Did you buy your promotion? What's your rank? Explain. How did you learn this? And you have to justify. And if there's a time that you have to test your skill, then you have to show that you are skillful. Because in the Filipino fighting system, we train only three layers, 3 steps. One is skill development, number 2 is expertise, and number 3 is mastery. We talk about 2,000 degrees of ranks. We do not. You have to be effective right there and then. So, to simplify matters here, it's important that those of you who are trying to engage in the Filipino fighting system, be sure that you have the people that have the authority. There are people that are in Pikitersia that are teaching me right now. I don't stop them, and it's not sometimes, I get mad because, they are not teaching their own thing. But I give them the chance to teach because I want to find out how far they can go. Right? I know that they are making money of Pikitersia, and I am not collecting any money from these people. Right? And they try to commercialize Pikitersia. There come a day that I will run after you guys. So be sure that you have to know what is respect, and you know what is the problem you will meet one day. I'm not trying to threaten you, but I'm just warning you, because a discipline must be discipline. If I cannot discipline you now, who will discipline you? Gentlemen, I'm sincere when I'm saying that. It's important that everybody understand, and anybody's system. How many of friends of mine who are in karate, who have been also in other martial arts, who had been dying themselves how to get their training. They went to Japan to train, and when they teach here in America, their system or what they have given to their students, they stole it and named their own system, and they are disgusted because what they have perspired, what they have trained hard in Japan, training under the discipline of the Japanese or Chinese, when they come down here, they could not apply that because people are lazy. They just want to train, have and go. So what happened? They train for 2 to 3 years, they put up the dojo, and then they put up the school, and then they say they are the master. It is an insult, my friends. So we have to change what is the attitude of people that are teaching halfway, which have no authority. You can have a certificate, it does not mean anything. Prove to me that your certificate is worth of what you learn. That's Pika tertia. Under one PTK, We see to it that everybody that is in 150K must undergo with on my personal hand, because that is the only way we can test you. So those who are wanderers there and try to show themselves that they are Pika, but they don't give the reports to me, and they don't explain to me what happened, because whatever you do, guys, outside, you carry my name, you will be responsible to me personally. Good, bad, you have to see to it that you will be responsible to me. So don't ignore me, because there come a time that you will pay what you have done. You've done wrong, I'm right. No matter what we do, I'm right, because I am the system. So Pika will reign forever. And be sure that your understanding of Pika must be thorough, it must be in depth, and it must be exactly perfect as what is being explained in the system. Because we deal here with exact science. We deal here with perfect. Everything that we do is perfect. You have to be sharp. And if you are unsharpened, we will sharpen you. This is important, my friends. So there will be a series of presentation that we will have in the near future. One of the things that will come out here is how to destroy the Karambit. How to destroy the Karambit, because this Karambit is not a Filipino weapon, and it's Indonesian and Malaysian weapon. And the Malaysian or Indonesian does not teach this of their own representative that, I'm going to teach Karambit to you people. As you see these people, when they teach you Karambit, they are showing somebody that is unarmed. And with the use of the Karambit, naturally the guy is totally destroyed, because he has no means of equalizing against the Karambit. And the fact is that it is not Indonesian, it is not also the Malaysian that is teaching Karambit, it's the Filipino. And these people that are teaching the Karambit had been under my training, and they have gone back and forth. And what most of the time that they use the principles of Pika. Without Pika, they don't understand what's Karambit, but they use that to make themselves exotic and to be a flower in the garden. That's why, that's the thing I'm mad, because you steal my system and you use it in different concept, different weaponry, which is not Filipino. I'm warning you, because if you're not satisfied what I'm telling you, Karambit against this beautiful blade. Live blade. Karambit, anytime. We'll take care of that. See? So, if you shoot something and you try to teach something, be sure that the fellow has to understand how to fight against this weapon, not against an arm. You teach the weapon to somebody who is unarmed, what lesson he can learn from you? He learned a lesson that he will be dead. So what happened? You destroy the principles of human rights. You destroy the principles of humanity, because you are teaching somebody. How about if a guy is criminally minded, a person here is drug addict, a person here has some kind of revenge that he will use that Karambit against somebody, unarmed, you'll be responsible. And that responsibility reflects me, because what you are teaching there is not Karambit style, it's a Pika style. So you have to remember that, my friends. If you are not satisfied, meet me anywhere. I'll prove to you that your Karambit sucks, and I will take care of that. So be sure that when you are representing yourself as an authority of Karambit, be sure you can justify that. So I urge you stop teaching Karambit, because that is not your culture. It's embarrassing, because you are teaching people, you teach people, you think that the people are stupid. That is not the way it is. You teach people how to be intelligent, and you teach people how to understand the danger of the blade. That's why when I teach the knife, it must be knife to knife, not hand to hand. Hand against knife. In other words, the fellow is bare, he has no weapon at all to equalize your blade. What are you teaching for? You are teaching the guy to kill somebody who is unarmed. And that is a criminal act. You have to understand that. So, my friends, let it be known that I forbid the teaching of Karambit. You have the freedom to teach, but be sure you are not a Filipino. Because whatever you do good, you do bad, you are a Filipino. I'm affected as a Filipino. Because I am representing this system, that is now taught into the armed forces. And the armed forces there are looking with respect as far as technology is concerned. And then you substitute the weapon with Karambit, which is not your weapon. It is a criminal weapon because it is a weapon of assassination. That is a weapon of assassination. The fellow is helpless. He cannot do anything. You try to bring all those slashes and slashes. Maybe you have seen the red 2. That's why you're trying to do that. Don't be a hero, my friend. So whoever teaches that as a Filipino, don't allow yourself to be popular because of that. It is important that you have to understand that. So, when you teach, my friends, and you learn something, ask the fellow, where did you learn this thing? What is your history? You're teaching about combat. Question is, have you killed a mosquito? Have you killed a rat? You have not even killed a rat, and you have not killed any mosquito, and you're talking about combat? What are you? Yeah? You're plagiarizing your own teaching, and you are trying to steal something that is not yours, and then you try to be through an authority. What you're doing is against the law. Because in direct teaching somebody to kill, then you are also conspirator to that fellow because he killed somebody because of your teaching. So you conspire to the killer, then you're also liable. And we don't want to be involved. You as a Filipino, you don't want to be involved in this kind of situation. You don't know your responsibility. So it's important, my friends, that if there's any question, you come to me. Let's settle it somewhere else. If you want to say that your Karambit is more superior, let's test this, whether it is going to be effective or not. That is what is the message on. So I'll see you sometimes. Send me an email. I am on my Facebook. File your complaint. If you don't like me, let's be friends. Okay? See you then.